call the meeting to order. Mr. Mazzotti, would you give us the invocation?
Yes.
Okay.
Spirit, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a commissioner who's calling in. Commissioner LeBlanc is attending. I'm on, aren't I?
Thank you.
Pardon me?
You need to take a vote.
Yes. So we need to take a vote on permitting her to attend by phone. Make a motion.
I'll motion to allow, I'd like to allow Ms. LeBlanc, Commissioner LeBlanc, to attend the meeting via telephone.
All right.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Yes, roll call.
Commissioner Mazzata present.
Commissioner Gardner present.
Commissioner Burton present.
All right. Do we have citizen participation for items that are not on the agenda?
Good evening. Ed Slavin, box 3084, edslavin.com, candidate for mosquito control, seat 4. Just want to thank you all for your service and the fine work that the board does and that the staff does. And I know there's some things that can be improved, but appreciate all that you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Slavin. Okay. Do we have a vote on approval of the agenda? Any deletions or additions?
I'll motion to approve the agenda as is.
Okay.
I'll second.
All righty. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, Commissioner LeBlanc. All right. Now we need an approval for the consent agenda.
I will also motion to approve the consent agenda
All right.
for
I'll
this
second.
evening.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 I'm sorry, through the chair? Was there a second?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear it,
Yes.
sorry.
All right. Unfinished business. Mr. Gruen, would you like to tell us how that's going? All right.
My name is Logan Gruen. I'm the son of Otto. He was unable to make it tonight due to some health issues, but he's doing all right. Just some quick updates on it. We are completely finished. It seems like everything's going as planned. We did add a few extra things whenever we were going through the job to make things work the way they're supposed to. And I'll just kind of read from what he wrote down. Everything that was proposed and completed, I'll start from the playground area. We installed about 50 feet of pipe, and it's perforated, covered in coarse sand. We ended up installing that and adding some extra pipe, so there's 2 drains in there. And the original plans called for wood mulch to be replaced back in there, but a new proposal was the rubber mulch, play safe, and so that was added in there instead of adding new wood mulch back in. And then go down to the pond area, the garden and pond area. We installed new drainage areas to there, regraded the mulch up along the side of the building to kind of help that water flow away from there. Some new drains in there, and then also added the water filtration or water fill system for the pond, so it automatically stays up to a certain level. Added some different filters in there as well. And then for the, I guess that is the pool area. Which one is this? Okay, and then the downspouts for the education building, we connected those. We, instead of doing 4 inches, we upgraded those to 6-inch pipe and ran those and connected those in. But other than that, everything went as planned and no further issues. We did also do the main entrance drainage, ran the pipe across the road to help the playground flooding. So all that stuff over there will now go to the west across the road, but underneath. So hopefully that works. But that's it from us. You guys have any questions?
Does anybody have any
Thank you, guys.
comments or questions?
Yes, thank you very much. Excellent job. Yeah, after the rain, heavy rain, I look at what's going on. So work very well. Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah.
Sir, we appreciate
Only
it.
one question about the garden. Garden will have a small drain, you have a cover. So after the rain, the moisture is small to get in. I worry about the field moisture quickly.
The one on the south end?
Yeah, for the
has
garden,
little dome on it.
yes, right. You have plastic cover.
We can take a look at it. Me and my dad will come out here and we'll take a look, see if we can do something to it. We might just have to add some type of, how we did the other ones. There's a concrete pad around all the other drains, and that helps with the runoff. And so what we can do is possibly do that for that south end. It kind of helps
Okay.
with the mulch going around the drain. But
Yeah, because the moisture is the same drain, they can walk in the smell the moisture. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Mazzati has a question.
Just a question, just a random, but what about like a screen over, you know what I'm saying?
Screen over top of it.
Yeah, so the water can get in it, but nothing can get through the screen. You
That
know
is
what I'm
another option we can look
Yeah.
to. That all the pipe in the playground is perforated, so it has a bunch of holes in it, but it's wrapped in a filter fabric, and that's
Okay.
meant for that reason. And it's also covered in about 6 to 12 inches of sand on either side. So we could possibly do something like that with the filter fabric on top of it. The only issue, I guess, would just be the looks of it. You could see it a little bit more,
Yeah.
but if we did a pad, well, we can look into that and.
Gotcha,
see what
just
we can do.
curious, just
Yes, sir.
a thought. Thank you.
I'm his dad.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
What was the question?
I just had a thought. I don't know if you guys have.
Garden,
Yeah,
garden area, the drain is covered, plastic cover. So the moisture is going to block.
So the mulch-
garden?
Garden, yeah.
South drain.
yeah.
Okay, what we did in the playground is it comes with a cast iron grate. Under that, we put a polypropylene mesh. It's like a cast net material,
Yeah, yeah.
Playground very
real
good.
small
So that
mesh,
catches
like
most
an
of it.
eighth of an inch mesh.
Okay,
It's under it. So the grate will kind of fill up, but it will never get down into the pipe. We can put that same thing on there to where the grate will kind of look like it's full, but it won't get into the pipe and leave.
copy.
Would be the best.
Could
The
it-
smallest, that's the smallest openings they make on those grates, is what's in there. And it's domed, you're talking about the domed one, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah. It's domed because they know it's gonna get leaf material and all that stuff on it, so.
So you can
do
put
the
some
same thing
stone
on
around, the stone, some kind of concrete around.
You want concrete around it?
Yeah, something, yeah, kind
We can do that.
anything, yeah.
Yeah, like the
Thank
ones
thank you,
outside?
appreciate it. Yeah,
Okay,
excellent job, yeah, very,
yeah, that won't be a problem.
thank you, yeah. That's,
Okay, yeah, that'll be fine.
Thank you,
And,
guys.
you wanted to go from, it needs to be a swale.
We can talk in maybe next week sometime.
All right.
Okay, thank you, yeah.
thank you, Mr. Curran, appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Dr. Shu, the
Thank you.
auditor contract,
Yeah, so that auditor contract that we spend lots of time deal with auditor selection, so that auditor committee recommended and the board award the auditor to the new auditor. New auditor submit engage letter, then the board authority, our lawyer, Ms. Haji did the contract and made some modification. Then I forward to auditor, the auditor agree, sign. Now they need a agreement, need to put it back. So we need a vote on for the agreement. That's the second time vote. Any question, ask her. She more than I do.
do you have any
The only-
comments?
Through the chair, the only thing I'd add is that the two engagement letters were not contained in the public book that was published. So when you make a motion, what was in the book was the addendum to these two engagement letters that I prepared to basically add in, the indemnification, the insurance, and those standards that better protect the district. But when you go to approve this matter, just make sure you're approving the two engagement letters and the addendum to the engagement letters that's presented before you. All of those will constitute the contract that you're approving.
Okay. Do we have any other questions or comments before we vote?
I don't.
No? Okay, so do we need a motion to approve it with the engagement letters?
All right, so I will motion to approve the contract between AMCD and Malden and Jenkins CPAs with the addendum. Was that
Yeah.
correct?
Right, so just if you could just modify that slightly, so that the contract maybe just consisting of the 2 engagement letters presented to you as well as the addendum
Okay.
that's included in your packet.
Okay, so approval of the contract with the 2 engagement letters and the addendum.
Okay, do we have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Commissioner LeBlanc?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. All right. Dr. Shu?
It's Scott issues financial analysis, budget amendment, Scott.
Good evening, Scott Hanna, AMCD CFO. I've got the quarterly analysis, which is the third quarter, April, May, and June. And that's got, traditionally, if you've got 3/4 of a year done, 75% would seem natural percentage of the budget of each of these categories used. Some of them are over, and none of them are really that big in total number. The ones that are in the revenue part are actually good things. So I put explanations of each thing, the next 2 pages, and then you've got the statement that it refers to. I mean, probably I could give you some highlights, and then if you have some questions on something specific, I could go into more detail. The interest earnings, we've been budgeting more and more each year. I guess we didn't expect the Fed funds rate to still stay so high. It's been between about 4.25 and 4.5. So the amount in the investment accounts above current operating needs has been showing really good returns with the Florida Prime in both those accounts. So budgeting $325,000 is really atypical, but we've exceeded it by $13,000 in the third quarter. As far as operating or travel and per diem, we do utilize, the reason that's way above 75%, we utilized a lot of that. And especially the first 2 quarters of the year, when it's the off season, we send more people to trainings so we can focus more on operations. So that gets utilized pretty quickly. And freight, not a big number, but we've been sending a lot of aviation parts out. So we're gonna have to, we have increased it slightly. We're gonna have to probably increase that a little bit more. And then other than that, I think the other one's a training. And if anybody has any other questions on anything specific, I can go into more detail. I do have an explanation for each thing.
Does anyone have questions for Scott?
No.
It is through June.
Yeah.
We have 30 days technically in accounting. You have 30 days to close out a month. So it doesn't go through July. So on a good note, in July, we've actually, fast forward another 30 days later, we actually have collected $8.3 million in tax revenue, which is 101.6% of the budget of what we budgeted. So we're 1.6%. It seems like it always comes in about 1.3, 1.6% more than what we budgeted. So we have an extra $134,884 to date in tax revenues, more than what we budgeted. And that's something that I amended. That's part of the budget amendment, which is the next thing we're coming to, which is the next page. So if you look at your budget amendment, DAX At one time, years ago, the revenues they weren't concerned about, and then when they've changed people in the financial sector, they started requiring that we amend the revenues. And so when we amend the revenues, that gives us, we have to balance it by giving us more expenditures. So the below the line are the increased expenditures to offset those extra revenues. We used to have to take it all out of contingency. But when we have a surplus of revenues, we don't have to touch the contingency, which it's kind of a good thing. So the excess revenues in this budget amendment are for the, what I was talking about, the tax revenues, $134,884. Grants and donations, we've got more than what we budgeted, $11,083. And then interest for this time period, $53,000. And then the amended areas are below. And then I've got the narrative on the next page, which shows we plugged it to the areas that we definitely knew that we were getting short on, or what we foreseeably thought we're going to be short, could be short on. So we did put a little more into personnel services because we're hitting about 80%, starting to hit some overtime and things like that. So we put a little more into personnel services, and then the benefits, which is FICA, and then a couple specific items the staff and management were looking to get was the AC installed for the building 200. That's specifically listed for the $15,513. The copy machine, it's old, and so it looks like it's going to need replacing quicker than later. So we had the money, so we put the $10,896. And then there was some other machinery and equipment items, $20,000. And this should be it.
Okay.
That's we need a vote on.
So do we have a vote to accept the budget amendments?
I will motion to accept the budget amendment as is.
Okay. I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you,
Thank you.
Scott.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, Dr. Sheila, sorry.
Thank you, yeah. Since last year, new statute request, our special district every year before October 1st, publish our next year program objective, goals, and measure, how to measurement it. So last year, we just have to get a board approved. And we're going to website before October 1st. So based on our program. Also, we have 2 new commissioners this year. So they can try to more understood our program, what kind of program we have. So what can we measurement, take a measure. So that's basically, yeah, the program is very, very important. It's called alternate set for activity or operation, designated to achievement a specific goal. So it's actually the purpose driver, each program serves a particular objective, like a reduce level, how you reduce, how you take a measure. So the tracking mosquito species, what's the species? So how many number, they have many kind of regulation. Or educating the public is a daily activity guideline. For us, we have a daily like a guideline like Barbara can, what we should do for the procedure. Structure operations, the program have workflows, protocol, each program have a protocol, and budget, how much money we need, also personnel, how many people we need, so set for carry out the task efficiency. So measurable impact the program and monitor use key metric to evaluate how successful they are, such as the trap count, like our state regulation, CDC trap, per night, per trap. You collect over 25 mosquitoes, then you have the justification to use the pesticides to make control. So community engagement or reduce the disease risk. So that's our program. AMCD, we have 3 major issue program. Number 1, operation. So number 2, our science and education. Then number 3, administration. Administration is the support, the front of the 2 major program. So the major program in the number 1 program, operation, include the customer professional service. Who is our customer? Taxpayer. So they pay, that's our customer. So anytime they call in and ask a service request, we have to respond very quickly and make customer first happy. So answer service request. Then second, operation program, surveillance. Surveillance, we include the mosquito-borne disease surveillance. We cooperation with the Department of Health. Look at through the doctor officer understood how many important mosquito-borne disease coming, like malaria, West Nile virus, Zika, chikungunya, dengue fever. So they get information, Department of Health get information, inform us which area has suspected case. We need to quickly take action, increase surveillance, figure out what's happening. Our mosquito population surveillance include the larval. Our field technician is from Monday to Friday. Everybody has a rod. The digger, teachers look at the mosquito larval. They found the larval, they can kill them. So we also use trap, surveillance adult mosquito. Adult mosquito use a different trap. Later I can show you. So other program on the operation, source reduction. Everybody knew that. No water, no mosquito. That's the reason our education center, you can see from the beginning, can figure out where the mosquito breeding. We teaching children, teaching people, public, understood what's going on. The bird feeding and dogs in a small container breeding mosquito. Just turn over once a week during rain time. So no mosquito, no water, no mosquito. Very simple, but nobody really wanted to do that. Very few. So that's all we need to mention, push public education. Then tire collection. We undertake use tire on the road, on the street. So our technician collect it because of one of the breeding site for containing breeding mosquito. So also larval site and adult site. We throw ground application. Every technician, they have their truck, larval site unit that can teach us the supply. If they see the larval, put some in larval site, can kill larval. Or the air application, like recently we have a drone, so work very well, different area, so we can find the larval, so can quickly supply the larval site grinding. Safety grants, BTI and RTC. So there's a helicopter sometime during the adult site, so the helicopter should be back soon. So when next month, we maybe use air adult site. So other major programs, science and education. The public relation and education. That's I believe, our science and education program, just 2 programs, currently in our nation is a leader. It's lots of publication, lots of grant from the different resources. Our education center, last month, we received 284 something like people. 2,843 people visited. 70% is new, because every time everybody come here, we ask they need a record. 70% new. In June, we have 2,480 something, close to 2,500 people visited. That's a very successful. It's a parking lot all full. Just from yesterday, because the school start, a little bit reduced. So that's a very interesting education. Applied research. Our research is different with the university institute, with major emphasis in testing new material, new tools, and evaluate, look at working for our mosquito, help industry research and develop on new products. So that's very, very important. With the end of use, we can figure out what's going on. Our SAT measures one of the new tool we call biopesticides, biocontrol, biopesticides. Then third program administration. So each program will quickly give a view, what's the goal. Yeah, the customer service and the request handling program. Since 2019, before COVID, we developed Apple, it's a cell phone, iPad, everybody computer, you can put on, because AMCD there, you can put the Apple, you can put your serve request. You can quickly knew that quickly send it to a technician through the email, they can see there. Sometimes the technician in the field, they see them information, who requested, they quickly go into the neighborhood and check provide service. Our provider services not only supply kill mosquito, include educated residents. So where the mosquito come from? As educated people take a provision. That's very, very important. So that's the objective. Deliver timely and professional response. So the straight line intake and the resolution for larval survey. Adopt complaint, supply request, and build transparency, trust with the residents through clear communication, database action. Everything they need a database. Some kind of many law request, you have to follow in there. Anything you want to use a pesticide, you have to get a justification. If you're going to the no landing rate count, no mosquito biting you, our trap didn't collect mosquito, didn't find the larval, we cannot use pesticides. The pesticides are very expensive too. We don't want to use that. We have to, based on justification or the database action. So that's the goal, promote the response within 1 day. That's our goal. Currently, a little bit over 1 day, depending on what time. Like today, Thursday request, maybe Friday provide, maybe Monday, yeah. So time resolution standard, larval inspection and supply, data accumulate, ensure service requests are logged, and geographic target, and dispatched correctly, resident experience achieve satisfaction in following up survey. Our following up the service from online, from our website, from a visitor, from the talking, it's around 90%. Really, we cannot make everybody happy, but we make it majority very happy. Usually every year we may be called, get 2 or 3, maximum 3 calling complaint. Or you supply the pesticides and still lots of mosquito and some kind of complaint. Then we said that people going to again look at what's happening, try to help the problem. So that's the goal. Also, currently, customer service is not only our taxpayer. We have a university, institute, USDA, military, and industry, lots of other professional service, associations, the paper review, grant review, all together. Now, cannot depend on one organization, one side doing the work. All need a team work together, share information, collaboration. Just like going to war. You have a weapon, you don't have a body, you don't have a cannot use, same thing. We have people, we need equipment, we need pesticides, we need together. When we stop, we cannot do that. Only empty equipment doesn't work. You have to work together, make it more efficient. So that's the more professional service coming. So that's the metric. First response time, we try to reduce within 1 day. Resolution time within 2 days. So also we work in new software. We try to let the people automatically understand. After service, quickly they can receive through the email, there's a notice there. Okay, we serve you already. If you still have the problem, let us know. Before use the door hanger, the people after service put the door hanger. Who get here all the time problem. Now the features more like new technology. So that's the future the development, yeah. So the other satisfaction service, yeah, we try over 85%, and feeding back call abandonment rate is not less than 5%. Request the actual rate more than 80%, and the repeated request rate less than 10%. But this 10% is sometimes mosquitoes motor generation. Today you're going to supply, they still have larval pupae next day after next day still hatch. Or mosquito migration. In your neighborhood, we made a treatment from next neighborhood. They migrate to here, so you still complain. So that's why you need to think about who can still look at what's happening. So the other program about surveillance of arbovirus and mosquito populations. Mostly we deal with the arbovirus. Our objective and goal is to detect and monitor arbovirus activity. In our area, in our laboratory, we have the capability to test the West Nile virus from St. chicken blood. And before we have mosquito polling. No, we do not do mosquito polling. Or East equine syphilitis, that's very dangerous, yeah. Or St. Louis syphilitis. So other, we have the Zika, anything, we don't test there. So after we confirm, we have to, by law, have to set a Department of Health Tampa for finally confirm. So that's the truck mosquito population dynamics across Xinjiang County. So we have a 51 truck cover our county. We try to, every Monday or Tuesday, get the results. Look at where area, what's the species, how many last night we collected. That's for justification. So supervisor will make a decision tonight or tomorrow morning going to supply or not for database justification. Or they protect the public health through early warning system. And also we have started develop a new software. I think about it, need more promoting citizen science. In European, in some country, that's if in this area, you have some kind of dengue import case, so citizen science quickly can use their set to warning that people take care. Also, the citizen can use a cell phone in their yard. They found the container have some kind of larva that can take a picture, or they can send it to us. Also, some use some current AI, artificial technology everywhere. Now it's very easy. They can pour over, they can ID. Oh, this is the Aedes mosquito, dengue vector. Oh, this is the Anopheles, malaria vector. Basic information, we need more training, use our software feature, like promoting citizen science, can get this, get more and more people help us. So surveillance program, we include St. chicken. We have currently 60 chicken, 10 locations. So we try to get 1 more 11. So 6 chicken per location per site. We Monday breeding, so breeding laboratory quickly get the results. Sometimes before we get the results, after breeding, we send it to Tampa. Take about 3 or 4 days. About the Thursday or Friday, we get the results. So because there's so many on one laboratory doing the testing. So we said this many years ago, that weekly they can receive over 2,000 samples. You see, there's only a couple of people working running. Then we thank our board, the support, build our laboratory. We can morning around 10, 11, we bring back the blood cell. So we can get the results around 3 p.m. We get the results. Then supervisor quickly make the action, quickly make action, make the plan. So we get test the first test suspect case. Like here, St. chicken test positive for West Nile. This means the virus West Nile in this area circle already between wild bird and mosquitoes. We need to pay attention. So that's one with detection. For us, we don't worry about overkill mosquito. If suspect case, about 90-95% confirm, set it to Tampa DOH laboratory, they confirm back. It's a very good positive rate. But sometimes we quickly get the situation, quickly take action. That's why I said we don't worry about overkill mosquito. So we can just quickly take action. We don't want to see human case or anything. Mosquito pollen test, before we spend a lot of time. There's a former doctor, Daniel Dixon, Dr. Steve Piper, have two doctors work there, started this program, collect lots of mosquito, and IAD and pour separated, but the positive rate very, very low. So whole year, maybe one positive, maybe nothing. Even sometimes from the chicken side, we put a trap, collect the mosquito, get a laboratory, couldn't find a positive. But chicken almost 2 positive already. So far, I have no idea what's going on. So sometimes the more challenge you have what's happening. So still need to figure out this year. Then I postpone that kind of program, look at any kind of new methodology for the positive synthetic chicken test. Otherwise, waste time, waste the year. So thousand mosquito, idea separated testing, not many positive. The chickens so far work very well, keep chicken here. CDC light trap and the BG trap. The CDC trap, we use the octane biting, the low attraction. But when number of mosquito high, peak time, they're much over quickly. They're easy a couple hundred. But the low request only 25. They're easy to catch 25. Why we need a million cut? So that's why we use the CDC trap just for justification. Or the BG trap. BG trap, we have a BG trap, over trap, to cover most of the dangerous species, like dengue fever, Zika, and chikungunya yellow fever mosquito, continue breeding mosquito. That's mostly around the residence area. Also, we're doing some kind of environmental monitoring. So every day I watch the weather is very, very important. I can figure out today the rain, the wind. So everything, the rain, you cannot spray pesticides. After you spray, maybe a washout. Or say the strong wind, you cannot spray. No wind, you cannot spray too. If no wind, you spray, just shoot on the road. So have everything that have some kind of limitation, have a certain range. So that's a supervisor. We always manage it, watch it very careful during season. We don't want to waste anything. Instead, people spend 2 hours in the field, didn't care anything. We don't want to waste it. I have to look at what's going on. That's it. So that's the surveillance, the program. That's our CDC trap. And the CDC trap, I show everybody, it's use lights, and use occurrence contracting, coming, so have sucking fan, suck in. So the inside a small piece of the pesticide, stick, get in, kill them, then bring back the laboratory idea, count, how many number, what's the species. So that's the 6 years the collection situation. So that's a BG trap. BG trap is very specific design for the Aedes. That's Aedes albopictus containing breeding mosquito. We call it tiger mosquitoes. In your everybody home, I believe. They're from the yard, backyard, even bromine plant. Little bit of water that can breeding. Also Aedes aegypti, currently on the island and southern south, southern Pontevedra, mostly east I-95 area. They're very interesting. So after 2016, come back from downtown, that spread. Now the west side is still low number. Some area we may find Aedes aegypti. So that's the overtrap. Overtrap center, just put the water, German people, so put some water. The grand female come to lay eggs. Then we bring back, look at how many eggs, counting the eggs. So one female can easy to lay about 100 eggs. They can lay several times after blood feeding. This is the key metric. Surveillance effective, minimum infection rate. That's our purpose. And the vector index, that should be going to low. So timeline and response, the collection to laboratory results within 48 hours. Now so we are 24 hours get the test physical results. So detection of a notification within 24 hours, quickly supervisor gets the information, quickly take action, trap diplomas frequently. So we are doing the weekly from usually from March start at Aedes continue breeding mosquito until October, and for some adults and the CDC trap until middle of November. So that depends the situation. So as is the data quality coverage, trap zone coverage, more than 90% of that operation area, species ID, actually, now we have lots of people certified, lots of entomologists here, so can ID the species, very common species. In our county, we have 45, 46 species, but really vector transmitted disease really bother people, maybe around 8 to 10, not everyone. Some species never bother us in the wood area, some is different. So some is only nuisance problem, so not a vector. Some is a vector and a nuisance. So that's called the pest and the vector. So the situation. So other things that integrate and impact, mostly for public health advisor issue. That's interesting. Last time I talking about it. Xinjiang County report one human case, West Nile virus, in mid of June. That's a through blood donation, screen positive for West Nile virus. So that's the people never travel. We have no idea what's happening. We put the trap and for several days, several trap around the area. We didn't collect too much mosquito because it's too dry. Our area from the early spring is very dry. So where it's coming from? It's sometimes harder to figure out. We cooperate with the Department of Health, epidemiologists try to figure out what's going on. Number one, they're coming to season early this year, usually late July. That's why mid of June. So number two, through blood. Western Nile could be through blood transfer, could be bone transfer, anything. Yeah. So that's how they test positive. So that people never travel, never what's going on with it. No, it's called asymptom, no any symptom, just a through blood donation found there. Because the law requires since 2004, blood donation, everybody needs to screen Western Nile virus positive here. So our Xinjiang County, since that, under mosquito-borne illness advisor. So that's we need to push more education, more prevention. So other things for efficiency, cast per trap per night. So we look at what's going on. And the staff hour per cycle, software utilization, that's what we work on. Try to looking for new technology. Like last couple of months ago, talking about AI, automatic robotic trap. They can deport it automatically go into there. Or through sensor report you how many, that's the species, how many mosquitoes get in the trap. Looking for the future, that's the technology. Even they talking about it, ULV truck supply. Cut the robot everywhere. They taxi, robot taxi, nobody driver. They're going to neighborhood. Why we don't think about future, have we put our ULV machine, supervisor, grand program, going to the neighbor supply, come back down. There's many new technology. That's, I believe, one day we're chief about that. So we need to catch more new technology for that. The source reduction and the bioregional control. So that's the eliminate mosquito breeding hepatitis by remove or modify overposition sites, or engage the community in proactive cleanup education effort. So they reduce reliance on chemical adult sites through hepatitis management. Just talking, no water, no mosquito. Just like a current situation, every day rain, once a week, turn over container. There will be no mosquito in this specific area. Bioregional control, safety control method, target emerging mosquito stage. We try to control through environment-friendly method, control larvae. In the winter for their emerging, become adults. Minimize the no-toxic impact by using selective biological agents like fish. We have a fish tank. Every year we provide about 100 people that come here request for fish, put a new pond, new teachers, not all the pond. All the time I know the support there. All the time nature, fish, everything, predator built already, just some kind of new there. Or BTI, bacteria, the specific for mosquito larvae, very safe. And BS, that's another bacteria. Or Spinosauda is other like a biocontrol. Then SAT for the species is specific. This method that work very well, almost 70 years history. And just a little bit slowly. Our situation, people all ask me what's happening. Our situation in the South South and downtown, we do have lots of problems with Aedes aegypti, Aedes albopictus. Interesting, during summertime, we have lots of problems deal with the salt marsh mosquito migration from a Conquer Island, from that area coming to Davie Shore, coming to downtown. So what can we do? We have to, that's called integrated pest management, integrated mosquito management. You have to depend case by case. You cannot say, I just release a SAT male mosquito, but you're looking for natural female mating, no baby. Egg couldn't hatch, but it take time, take a week. But people angry, they migrated from Conquer Island, the Mars, the salt marsh coming. What can you do? So that we happen several times. So I said, no matter what's happening, protecting people number one, just going to take action, surprise. Now we can release again. What can you do? You cannot say, oh, I have an experiment here. I have the SAT here. I don't surprise. No, I said, no, we have to look for serve the people's number one. What's the need? So then delayed resistant development. Current unbelievable. Most of we use pesticides has a higher resistance. That's a big challenge. So you have to looking for rotation, new mode of action in insecticides, how to can control situation. You after use a few years, even we don't use. I have a Thoreau University, Florida, U.S. Department of Agriculture, Thoreau Arts Laboratory tested high resistance. Even some pests we never use. But interested in pest use amount in public health, mosquito, and cockroach, and in home. Less than 3% in the world. So the number one use agriculture use pesticides. The vegetarian, without pesticides, difficult, to everything the bugs eat. Then other first. So that's the reason people are always mad about mosquito control. Oh, use pesticides, use some kind. Actually, we deal with the people every day. We are around the people. The people always see our truck, see our situation, see that we cause the major problem. No, we don't want to waste the pesticides. We don't want to cause the resistance. Even the every home, you look at Florida, our residents, if you have a home, you go into your car garage, look at it. Majority, as I visited, so not to say 100%, over 80 to 90% of the different kind of pesticides, bought from Home Depot, Ross, from Walmart, include repellents, include shot, wasp, include cockroach, fire ants, many kind of things. So mosquito control uses such a small. We always get mad by people. So we need more education to look at what's happening. So other program perform. So we look at the metric percent of identified breeding size element. Some we can do, some we cannot do. So number of community outreach events we increase. So, and the public participatory rate in cleanup campaign. Last few years we did a couple times. And some kind of through hurricane funding in Hastings, Armstrong, we did some work. So they're not too much. And the reduction in container index. If you reduce the container index, reduce the mosquito, and use integrated products, BTI, RTC, larvicide, and the larvicide application coverage, try to cover from the possible mosquito breeding size. Then we systems monitor very frequently. Currently we have the capability doing the resistance test. Most of the deals are adult. Now we try to cooperate with the University of Florida, Vero Beach, and start a larvicide resistance test too. So now target impact assessment, the annual review. So larvicide adult goal that's the matrix. Interrupt the mosquito life cycle by target larvae before they're emerging as adults. Minimize the adult mosquito population through proactive aquatic habitat treatment. Reduce arbovirus transmission risk by low vector abundance. Then use environmental safety products with a minimum of target impact. That's the matrix. Larvicide coverage rate more than 80%, residue efficient duration, and about 7 to 14 days, depending on which area. As the EPA doesn't like long residues. With the registered more or less like around 1 week. But for some kind of area like a stone drain, because the Xinjiang County develop very fast, so many stone drain coming. So that's our species shift. Now I want interested in 15, 20 years ago, the species from wood. Now for me a neighbor, you can find the species. So the behavior, before the breeding the first area, now they're breeding transfer to the container, to the stone drain. So many stone drain. Everybody can build homes, lots of new stone drain. So species shift. Now so we have before lots of flooded water mosquito problem. Now we have more problem with the container breeding mosquito problem. So the stone drain and more people and the container breeding mosquito. That's a little bit change. Then the larval mortality rate. So we run the testing before we use calibration machine. So the production rotation, so we watch it very careful, and GS mapping, and the no target impact. That's basically our goal, and to following. Operation control, ground application. So every year we collect 300 to 500 user tail, and we give some fish, or they start release SAT mosquito. So the larval side, adult side, ULV berry, that's why mostly coming for the area use for neighborhood. Around there, that's the air, we have the air capability. We have 3 helicopter, 1 for surveillance, 1 for larval side, granule, 1 for adult side. So that for me, use pesticides are always the last choice. I'm not the first to select use pesticides. I live here, not you guys live here, everybody live here. We have to protect our environment. Looking for easy way and a cheap way, looking for efficient way can control. Where you need to spend pesticides. Every time with the helicopter, supply the granule out of the $600-700, 15 minutes. I feel, my gosh, 15 minutes, that's like come back, $600-700 come. So we need to really look at the efficiency, work there is necessary, let's start. Except that they use the pesticides as last choice. After hurricane, after flooding, I have to use them. Only by our few number of people cannot handle it. So you have to throw the mass areas, they quickly deliver. So now the drone, so work very well. So we have a 2 drone, small area, you can see very often to our drone activity. So public relation, education program, that's the goal and the metric. Public awareness increase understanding of mosquito biology, breeding size, disease risk, promotion community participation in source reduction, and personal protection. We need more citizen science to promotion. Everybody knew that in here. After sunset, sunrise, especially sunset, most peak active time. During that time, you're going to out. Please, long sleep, long time, maybe solve the problem. You knew the activity peak time. Please stay at home a couple hours. Why you need a feeding mosquito going to the peak time? So that's they have to need to educate people more knowledge about that. Take a simple action. Okay, now so they're going to cut in the long moon something. Maybe you need about couple hours only. They don't have the mosquito problem. So they not bother you too much. So education engagement, deliver age-appropriate mosquito education in the disease vector education center and the community center. Empower residents to take actions through workshop, campaign, digital media. Our media, with the Facebook, Instead, and treat actually the visitor numbers are very, very high, especially education center. So lots of people visit, it's unbelievable here. So lots of good information we deliver. Thank you our employer and our team. They work very hard. They release the very correct information. And stakeholder relation, build trust with the local government. We have very good relation with good local government and with the Department of Health and Department of Environmental Protection and the Department of Fish and Wildlife and the state and the local and the health department and the public public. That's really when we started educating some kind of club, Rotary, Kiwana, and Line, some club. So sometimes they invite us to join the meeting, share information, help each other. The communication program, very successful. It's more charity, more transparency. That's the major public awareness. The website, the traffic increase, post the campaign, or the social media engagement rate increase, gradually increase. Also that education engagement number of school program. I was surprised that Xinjiang County, so many home school. Since here, I'm not there take advantage. The same thing, I come every week. So that lots of 20, 30 people coming, most by most supply coming here. That started it. It's good for us too. They can teach in there. So the home school is a very good surprise. So it's a very good education there. Also, the student with the knowledge gain, we start a survey. You see the kids that have sheets that can, after the visit, they're looking for give the name, that looking, and hopefully future has some kind of simple testing, and evaluate our program, education program. The community workshop, and we plan to discuss the next few years, how can we educate more senior and more junior, like some kind of local pest control, environmental, and other group, even legislation, try to more understand mosquito prevention, how important, how to prevent. Distribution education material, and the stakeholder relation, the number of stakeholder meeting held every year. It should be over 5. Every month I join the Xinjiang County government resource in the Department of Health, different government together, share information, update. So positive feedback from partner, hopefully get 19% satisfaction, sir. So that's basically the performance metric. Then applied research objective and goals, innovation and evaluation, develop and validate new mosquito control methods, tools, technology, as efficacy, evaluate impact, etc. control strategy, advance understanding of mosquito behavior, ecology, and disease transmission, scientific contribution, publish peer-reviewed research to inform global mosquito control practice, collaborate with academic institute, federal agents, also support evidence-based decision-making for operation program. Operation integration, translate research funding into field-ready protocol, and improve cost effectiveness and sustainability of control operation, inform resistance management and surveillance strategy. That's our objective for the applied research. So that's the research outcome metric, the number of peer review the publication. So average 4 or 5 publication peer review. Actually, we much more than. Last 3 years, annually we publish 15 to has 20 publication. It's a very high impact factor in the field, AMCD. You put online, put a Google search, AMCD, the research, the publication, last publication here. Also in Winbaz magazine. So number of conference participation and precision. So the conference, I always encourage our staff and employee try to get more opportunity, encourage the commissioner, try to join more conference. It's a good network, culture information. So they're in the laboratory, in their district, spend several years get some new idea and you want to share through the meeting. You can see, learn every time you learn something. Also build the network. Also the different industry show that what's the new next year. New formulation, pesticides, new equipment, you say also learn something. So they also encourage our staff and try to help join the American mosquito control and Florida mosquito control to be leadership. Then you can learn something. Not only we going to the lesson to them, we need to share our experiences, help each other. So that's it's very good for the education and applied research. Then people knew you, they can get more opportunity, get a grant, get other side of funding doing the work. Now it's all need a collaboration. Innovation and evaluation, number of new tools and method test. Currently we test several with California and campaigning. Currently with Germany and campaigning, doing different pesticides, different formulation, different mosquitoes, or some submitted several NIH grant with Las Vegas University, professional NIH grant for malaria control for medical and sick. Yeah. Also collaboration with the University of Central Florida about a new technology for toxic sugar base. So that's collaboration together. So our science team very strong. So far in the mosquito control organization, I believe we are the #1 highest with scientists. So we have 5 PhD and all different expertise. So everybody has different field. So it's very impacted in the field, in the nation, even in the world. So that product efficiency improvement, operation integration, protocol adopted into field operation. So that's one, we have very good GLP documentation. Everything, seems everything will have SOP ready, majority have SOP ready. So we have a bigger book. So everything that currently have the one GLP start project for test new mode of action that adult size. So the costly saving from research and the resistant monitoring, community impact, public education, material developer, and research stakeholder. That's basic information. I believe we reached the goal, so no problem. So the administration objective goal, that's all following the law. Governor complaints, ensure with the Florida statute, destructive charter, and maintain transparency through public record, and report and board engagement. So everything we need to apply sunshine law, and support the strategy plan and the policy development, operation oversight, coordinate interdepartmental function, financial, HR, thank you, we have HR full-time staff, IT communication, and facility efficient resources. They include the budget, include execution, and monitor program performance across all divisions. So we currently separate 3, 4 like department section. We cooperation. Sometimes a little bit difficult, but look at the majority, we work very well. It's a daily work. It deal with the department, some kind of it's nature, but it's not a principle. Yeah. End of the day, finish our goal, doing our mission. That's the most important. Stakeholder engagement, provide timely update on commercial, public health partner and residents, support grant application, audit legislative report, promote district visibility, credibility through professional network. So that's the very, very important for network. So that's the basic metric. The board meeting documentation actually, so we need to get 100% compliance with the sunshine law. So the strategy plan update annually. So now we work on next 5 years, major work plan. And hopefully everybody get input. So public record response time should be in 1 week, less than 5 work day. Now we have improved a lot. We have people still specifically in charge. And the operation overnight budget varies, and the interdepartmental report, 100% quality submission, annual performance review completion, and stakeholder engagement grant application success rate. For community, for industry, seems a little bit easy, but the money is low. Now the federal cutting, I have no idea what's going on. So seems more difficult to get a federal grant. But we need to prepare how can we handle this. Legislation report timeline, 100% on time, submission, everything. So weekly, we have lots of report, pesticides, budget amendment, weekly, annual, monthly inventories, lots of report here. Also, we have lots of inspect annual, check tank, check helicopter, check safety, check fire risk. Just deal the regular, lots of business deal with safety. So the commission and certifications occur, and hopefully more than 90% positive feedback. So future will have more needed communication. So really thank you about this support and our employee and the full-time employee and the grant contract position, seasonal inter just finished about 8 inter finished end of July, the back to school, high school and the college also visit. So all collaboration, federal, state, county, university institute, and private industry. So thank you very much. Any question? There is a detailed writing in the book. If you have any question, if you don't have any question, I need a vote on for accept this for the website publish for the record. Thank you.
Does anyone have questions for Dr. Xu? Can we have a motion to accept?
Public comment, please.
Public comment, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Slavin.
Good evening. Ed Slavin, edslavin.com, box 3084, candidate for seat 4 on the Anastasia Mosquito Control District in St. Johns County. I want to thank Dr. Xu and Dr. Qualls for their work, and the board for its work, and the attorney for her work, for the firm's work. I think this would be a good time to talk about global climate change and the increasing amounts of rainfall we're seeing here in St. Johns County and throughout the state and nation. I know I read Al Gore Jr.'s book, Earth in the Balance, when Brian and I first visited, God rest his soul, he and I visited St. Augustine back in 1992 after I tried the Varnador case against Oak Ridge National. Anyway, I read that book on the road. Of course, I don't drive. Reading that book from St. Augustine all the way to D.C., Earth in the Balance by Al Gore Jr., he predicted in that book and in his movies everything that we have seen with global climate change. And we have abroad in this land now administrations at Tallahassee and in Washington that are climate deniers and don't even want to practice good science. I salute AMCD for doing good science. And I think we need more help at St. Johns County Board of County Commissioners with good science, because too often a development proposal will come in front of the Board of County Commissioners and there's nobody from the staff in St. Johns County that talks science. Nobody who can talk on a sophisticated level, unless the neighbors do research or they hire a lawyer or an expert. And so very oftentimes people say, this area constantly floods. Would you please help us and don't approve this development proposal? So I think in terms of intergovernmental relations, it would be key to the success of the Mosquito Control District in St. Johns County if we have a memorandum of understanding between St. Johns County and AMCD providing for consultation on development proposals. As part of the development review process, the county needs to ask our scientists here, for each new project, how would this project affect flooding and levels now and in the future of mosquitoes? I think that's basic. We should be doing that. Also, I'm wondering, we have alligator Alcatraz, which is infested with mosquitoes, and the administration in Washington and the administration in Tallahassee stuck there in the middle of a swamp without any kind of research. And the staff at Alligator Alcatraz are getting bitten alive by mosquitoes. I'm wondering, did they ever talk to y'all? Did they ever talk to Dr. Shu through the chair? Did they ever contact AMCD?
No.
No, of course not. Well, we need good science. I appreciate that this district stands for good science, and we can do better. And I'm thinking climate change needs to be part of the development review process, including mosquito control. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Slavin. All right, at this point, do we have a motion?
Go ahead.
To approve?
Yeah, motion to approve the updated policy for program goals and objectives.
Approve the motion.
You want to make a motion?
Yeah, make a motion.
All right,
I'll second the
all
motion.
righty. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, it's unanimous. Thank you so much. Ms. Rivera?
Good evening, Sheila Rivera, HR Generalist. I am here to present the public records policy, which has been, in discussion for a few months now. In your board books, you have the previous version, which was generated and discussed in July. And then we have the new and updated version that we worked together with Ms. Hodges to make it very detailed and legally defensible. So I'll just go over some of the key elements of the policy, and then we request that you take a vote to approve it. The purpose of this public records policy is to comply with the public records law of the state of Florida as set forth in this policy and procedures for providing public accessibility to public records, while at the same time safeguarding public records from alteration, damage, theft, or destruction. This policy was written to the best of our ability in accordance with the Florida Constitution, Article 1, and the Florida Statute, Chapter 119. The district executive director shall designate an individual to serve as the district custodian, and the district custodian shall have the full authority to manage and coordinate the inspection and copying of public records requested by the public, consistent with this policy. The district custodian will coordinate with employee custodians regarding the district public records requests. It is the policy of the district to maintain public records and to make such records available to the public upon request in accordance with Chapter 119. This policy applies to all AMCD personnel. Requests may be submitted to the district in writing, via email, in person, or via telephone. Our personnel shall not require the requesters to identify themselves or provide their contact information, or require that their request be submitted in writing, or refuse to acknowledge their request. However, our personnel may ask questions and take notes to clarify what records are being requested, and may provide the requester with contact information to follow up. And in order to streamline the request, we have an inbox that is public records request at amcdfl.org. That is the best way to approach a public records request. However, it's obviously not the only way. When it comes to reasonable time to respond to the request, there should not be an automatic delay in producing the public records request imposed before allowing access to the public records. All requests to inspect and copy public records shall be managed by and coordinated through the district custodian. And we also went above and beyond what is required from Chapter 119 to provide instruction on how public records requests should be recorded, just in case that information is needed in the future. So there's very specific details about what staff needs to do to record each request. Should any person request public records directly from the district department, the responsible employee shall promptly notify the district custodian of the request, and then they should immediately log the request and coordinate an appropriate response. The district custodian and the appropriate employee custodian will ensure that inspection and copying of the records request has been completed and delivered to the requester. The District Board of Commissioners, the District Executive Director, and the District Attorney will be advised immediately of any formal citizen or news media complaints or lawsuits filed against the district regarding access to public records. When it comes to confidential records, this policy explains in detail the procedure on how to determine whether a record is exempt, and it starts, with the person receiving the request, to their supervisor, to the records custodian, the district custodian, and if a determination cannot be made, then we reach out to the lawyer to help us make that determination, and the record will not be provided until a determination has been made by our lawyer. When it comes to fees for the public's records, the district may charge the requester a fee for duplication of a record not to exceed the amounts described in Florida Statute Chapter 119, and the policy explains exactly what those fees are. If the nature or volume of public records requested to be inspected or copied will require extensive use of information technology or resources, or extensive clerical or supervisory assistance, the district is allowed to have an additional charge for that. The amount to be charged shall reflect the actual hourly rate of the individual providing the service. In keeping with the district's commitment to provide open access to public records, there will be no special service charge for requests requiring 15 minutes or less. The district will accept the following payment methods: cash, money order, cashier's check made payable to Anastasia Mosquito Control District. Nothing in this policy is intended in any way to conflict with Chapter 119 of the Florida statutes or any other Florida or federal laws. In the event of any conflict between this policy and any other Florida federal law, including Chapter 119, the conflicting provision of the Florida or federal law shall prevail and apply over the conflicting provisions of this policy, and the board holds the authority to modify or amend this policy. In addition to the very detailed policy, we also have an appendix that provides guidelines to the employees on how to handle different situations when it comes to public service requests. So I should say that there were several drafts developed of this policy. We worked really, really hard to make it as perfect as we could. We would like to thank Ms. Hodges for helping us do that. So we are very happy with the final result and hoping that we can adopt it and get it done. Any questions?
No, thank you. I think you guys did a great job.
Thank you.
Public comment?
Go ahead, Mr. Slavin.
Thank you for your work on this. I think we need to add in a link for every employee to have at their desk to the State Attorney General's manual and the Sunshine Law and the Open Records laws, which will answer the questions for them, because this policy is basically bare bones. Also, under the prior chair, I had asked for mediation on my pending records requests, and the prior chair did not want to mediate. Pat Gleason, who's an Assistant Attorney General for Open Records in the state of Florida, she's been there for about 42 years. This is what she does for a living. But for AMCD not even to refer to the possibility of mediation in this policy suggests a little bit of bullwareism, B-O-U-L-W-A-R-E-ism. It's named after Lemuel Boulware, who was a General Electric executive who said to the union, "We'll never negotiate with you, take it or leave it." I'm still waiting on records requests that I made last year. It takes too long. And it was never that way. When Ms. LeBlanc was the education coordinator, before she ran for the board, she sat with me very openly, and I went over for 3 or 4 days every single box of documents that the prior board attorney, Jeffrey Dobson, Jeffrey with a G, had on mosquito control business. I read every single document. It was open and candid. Under the current administration, however, as exemplified by Dr. Hsu saying he wanted to charge me $1 million, that wasn't funny, Dr. Hsu, I'm sorry. That's not funny. I got the biggest mercury pollution event in world history declassified in 1983 in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. They put mercury into the East Fork Poplar Creek, into the waters and groundwaters of the state of Tennessee. Workers breathed that mercury in, and it was a classified national security secret. It took less time to get those documents, about 182 days, than it has for me to get responses to basic requests that I've made of AMCD. We can do better, folks. We need to do something about the delays. In terms of payment, I would really appreciate it if both St. Johns County, which also practices bulwarism, take it or leave it, if both the county and AMCD would agree to take ATM cards. Why do you have to have cash or a check? Why couldn't it be done in the manner that we would go to the grocery store and pay for groceries? Why can't you take an ATM card over the phone if there's a deposit? It needs to be friendlier. But most of all, we need a reading room, which is something I got Oak Ridge to do back in '83 after my testimony before then Representative Gore. A reading room where the key documents are available, whether online or in person, and also, please answer questions. This snootiness, as expressed in some documents from local governments here, we don't answer questions. Really? Well, if you don't answer requests, you're not being helpful, and you're not complying with Article 1, Section 24 of our Florida Constitution.
Thank
We
you,
can do
Mr.
better.
Slavin.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Ms. Hodges, do you have any comments?
No, I don't. I'm very comfortable with the policy that's been presented, and I think the suggestion of the staff utilizing, there is a great sunshine manual that was mentioned. That's a great tool. It goes into more detail. This is a really high-level policy. That manual is probably about 200 pages, but it really is the go-to manual that should be used. So I'm hoping that once you adopt this policy, then I can work with Ms. Rivera, if needed, to then train the staff on this policy so that everybody's very clear what the words mean. And that may very well be something that she can do by herself, but I can certainly assist because we do that sort of training all the time from a legal perspective.
Thank you. Does anyone have comments or questions?
No comment.
Okay.
All right, and I'll go ahead and motion to approve the revision for the district public records policy.
Okay.
I'll second.
All righty. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioner LeBlanc. All right. Dr. Hsu, do you
Thank
have a
you.
report?
Yeah, firstly, all the ground ULV machine calibration finish, so ready to use. I believe will be used soon because there's lots of rain every day. Second, we hire one new AP mechanical, and he started August the 4th. That collaboration with other mechanical work together, operate our helicopter. And until today, we interview 5 candidates for receptions. We hope to fill the position as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Hodges, do you have a report?
I have nothing to report. Thank
right.
you.
Commissioner Zada, do you have a report?
No reports, no closing comments, just thank you guys. Thanks for coming. Fun as always.
Thank you. I don't have a report.
No.
No.
No comment.
Commissioner LeBlanc, do you have any final words?
No comment other than thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. With that, the meeting is adjourned.